Good morning. Good morning, Jenny. Are you there, Hillary? Are you?
Yep, I'm here.
Live? I didn't know if you're live or frozen.
No,
Um,
I'm lying.
so I'm obviously joining in remote. Hillary is there in person, holding the fort down. Yeah.
Woo.
Monday. There's a chance of snow on Wednesday. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
It's a small chance, but a
We'll
chance.
see what happens.
Yeah. So let me see what your temperature is this morning in Cloudcroft. It's different here. Oh gosh, it says
It only
28.
says it's 32.
No way. It's colder here
Yeah.
than it is in Cloudcroft.
The high today is supposed to be 44.
Oh, really?
It's pretty toasty.
The high here says 56.
So next Tuesday, my weather says that the high is supposed to be 58.
Whoa.
We're going to be like sweltering because we're so used to it being like deathly cold now.
Don't tell me winter's over.
I'm actually ready for winter to be over. I
So this
would
is
much rather have like nice steady rain for spring and summer than have like snowstorms, honestly.
if that would happen. So I'm looking at mine, and it looks like they might have taken the snow out of the forecast.
Mine says 19% of moisture, but it just says like rain
Oh, okay.
because the high that day was 32, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking on a different one. So on NOAA, it still says a chance of snow, like a
Yeah.
20% chance Wednesday night, and Thursday. Who
If
knows?
the if the ground's pretty warm from the day before, then it
You
might
know,
not
that would
anything.
actually be the best of all worlds. If it was hovering around 32, and if it snowed and it was all pretty, but it like melted when it hit the ground. That would
Hmm.
That way we'd have the pretty snow. It'd be caught in the trees. Good morning, Jim. We're talking about the possibility of snow on Wednesday. So
Hmm.
if it snowed and it made the trees all pretty, but it like just kind of seeped into the ground, just melted when it hit the ground, that would be cool.
It would be pretty nice.
So far, it's been my experience that I don't get to choose what the weather does.
Yeah, sometimes it just does weird things.
uh, Only how I react to the weather. That's the only thing I get to choose.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Saturday? It had like it was like that popcorn snow, like
Oh,
it
I
had
didn't
done that
even.
overnight, and it was just like this nice little thin layer.
Good morning, Corwin. I didn't even see that. I didn't see the popcorn snow or
I mean, it melted as soon as the sun came
okay.
up. But
Yeah. See what? Gosh, what was my Saturday? I usually get up early anyhow, like 5:30, but that doesn't mean I go look outside. Buenos dias, hermano. Good morning, Jose. So I'm in Albuquerque, and we found a neat little super affordable hotel called the Kirky. Although you want to say quirky, but it's just the last part of Albuquerque. Um, so far so good. It's been pretty nice. The breakfast is like just a little continental breakfast, just bagels and toast and yogurt and stuff. But I usually don't eat breakfast, so that kind of helped me not eat breakfast this morning. But I do have my coffee. I'm gonna have to start bringing our sleeves from church. So when I do Java and Jesus remote, I can at least represent.
yeah, you should bring them to the convention and just like pass them out to everyone.
We should make some Java and Jesus sleeves.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that way we can promote Java and Jesus. So if you don't know, oh my goodness, so this is crazy. I just got a little notification. I'm doing this on my MacBook, and this is ready for Apple Intelligence. Time to experience the new personal intelligence system. So I don't know if we have any sci-fi fans, but Skynet may be closer than we think. Um, so that's kind of weird. Anyhow, whoa. Uh, I anyway, tried to make it go away and it got bigger. So this is, if you don't know, we changed. So what we're doing on Monday mornings is the Monday morning edition of Java and Jesus is called In the Know. And so we're using this as a way to help people know about things that are happening, going on, things that I can't spend every Sunday telling everybody what's happening and going on and helping them to understand things in the church. And this isn't just it's not just upcoming events things, but we'll hit that occasionally too. What I want to use this for is to help you guys understand the different ministries and stuff that's happening in the church. Because if you're not there during the week, then you may not know. So today, what I want to talk about is StuMin, or our student ministry. First of all, good morning, Vicki. Hey, Vicki, I'm closer than I was before. I'm only like 2.5 hours away from Vicki now. So, our student ministry. So, first of all, I'll tell you that we're looking for. It'd be cool to have another couple join in, and have one in mind. I need to try to tap them. But because Hillary is right now, it's me and Hillary is got that little baby. You got that little baby thing going, don't you?
I know.
You are 8 months along, 7.
Yeah, about 8 months.
So
it's weird how they.
I know, it's
do it
because they do weeks. So Hillary's due date is March 11. So we're almost in February. That's crazy. February happens this week. Did you know that?
I know, isn't it? It's just everything's happened so fast.
So you've got from today just about 6 weeks, because I think your date is like on a Tuesday or something like that. So she's got about 6 weeks if she can stay all the way until it's time for the baby, and that's a big question mark. But anyhow, so here's what our student ministry. Tell us, Hillary, what we do, what our student ministry is on the weekly basis.
So on the weekly basis, we do youth group from like 6 to 8. And we've been doing Hi-Fi, which I know we've talked about that before with our children's ministry. But we do the student version of Hi-Fi, and it's been so amazing. So they have like really cool like activities to kick off like the Bible lesson, and they're like really interactive. Like this last one that we did was that you split them into 2 groups, and you have a leader, and so you give them a puzzle box, and they're the only ones that can see what the puzzle is supposed to be like, but everyone else doesn't know. So this leader is trying to like give them instructions on how to do like this puzzle, and like they were random puzzles. Like we did an under the sea puzzle, and then like a United States puzzle, and just like to watch them like work together and like how to do a puzzle. Because like doing a puzzle you think is easy, and you're like, you have like your tricks, like you'll do the edges first, or you'll do it like by color, but it helped having the leader to know like the bigger picture of like, oh, well, that looks like it should be there, but it really needs to be over on this side.
But the leader couldn't tell them, so this is a map of the United States, or
right. They couldn't show them the picture.
Yeah, they couldn't tell them what it was or anything. They could only give directions with the leader having the big picture. And so
right. And so what's really cool is Hi-Fi does activities like that to kind of like kickstart the lesson that they're going to learn for that night, to kind of like get them like in the mindset, and it does like teach them some things. Like it was asking them questions like, was that really hard? Was it easier having a leader? Could you have done it by yourself? Like would it have been better to do it by yourself instead of in a group? So it's fun to like kick off the lesson that way. And then we do an intro video, which for now they're all the same, but they're still pretty funny. Some of them are funny, some of them are really serious. But it kind of just like gets them more into like the mindset of like hey, what could the Bible study be about tonight? And then we have the Bible study, which is always super amazing. Hi-Fi definitely, I cheated and probably did about 500 pieces. I was
Oh,
only supposed
wow.
to do 20,
I was
but
thinking
it's okay.
100-piece puzzle, but you went to 500, huh?
Well, I like to challenge them. I know they can do more than, they think they can.
So,
And they did it within like 20, 30 minutes, so it wasn't too bad.
yeah, but here's what's funny with Hi-Fi, and this is something I've actually got to meet the two lead guys who have developed Hi-Fi and oversee Hi-Fi, and you hate to like dump stuff on them, so I didn't say anything to them when I met them. They were at the VBS conference, but I want to say, so you guys allow like 5 minutes for these activities. Have you ever done the activities? Each one of them takes about 30.
Yeah, because some of them are what the cool thing is, like the activities are never the same. Like we've done trivia games as the activities. We've done like oh my goodness, like the puzzle game.
Mhm.
We've done like truth or dare activities. So like they range a lot, but you're right. Like 5 to 10 minutes. Like it takes me 5 to 10 minutes sometimes to like gain their, attention.
Mhm.
But I mean, at least that varies. I honestly like the activities though. They have like 2 activities that we could do.
Well, yeah, and there's usually one of the things in Lifeway has always been good at this, even back with the Sunday school stuff. They give you far, they give you more things than you could ever do. That means you got a lot of options, so you can customize it
Right.
to fit your group. So here's the deal with Wi-Fi. They did research. I don't know if you guys remember this. They did research, and it's in a book called Flip the Script, which I think you can even get
I
downloadable.
think it's free now.
Yeah. The print version you have to pay for just because they have to pay
Yeah,
to
but
print
the
it.
downloadable version you can.
Yeah, you can get the PDF version for free, but it's really good. That dives into, and it's not just, it's got a whole section for the church in there. So we may do this with some groups in the church, but they use that research to develop their curriculum. So what they're doing, and this is well, gosh, there's so much, but I'll try to make it quick. So they have what Hillary's talking about with the activities, the opening activities. Those are called community builders. So one
Mhm.
of the things that they know from their research is kids feel alone and isolated, and so they designed the curriculum with these activities so that when you come in, there are community builders. Some of it lends toward team building. They want them to feel part of a group. So that's why the activities like the puzzles, you divide them into 2 teams, and there's always a little bit of competition thing happening going on there. So they do that, but it's also based on 12 areas that they found out that you really need to address with the kids. And I don't have all those memorized yet. I should. But the one for January is, and all of them start with I am. So we need to get some t-shirts printed. We got some at a conference a couple of years ago when they were promoting Hi-Fi, but they don't sell the t-shirts. That's funny. They just give them as promo things. So it says at the top, I am, and then it lists the 12 things down. And so for January, the topic, and they cover this all in January. Each week is a standalone week because they know that kids don't come every week. The average
Mhm.
committed church member comes twice a month. That was pre-COVID numbers. So they don't want kids to come and feel left out from the week before if they weren't there. So this month, it's I am secure. And it's that way from Hillary, you do the nursery. You and
Mhm.
Kim do nursery on Sunday morning. You also do the pre-K. Oh, I'll be there at that one, Jose. We get to host that one, and we're not at our church. It's at Bethel, but Cynthia and I will get to host that. So um, the I am secure, that's the theme from nursery to high school. And
Mhm.
they hit it in different ways, obviously, for the kids. But even so, even this activity, which is fun for the kids, it's a great icebreaker kind of thing. And if a new person comes in, it helps them to get integrated, in a group real fast. Bless you. You need to learn how to sneeze. You've always been a real quiet sneezer. So But the I am secure thing, so the point of the puzzle activity was I can be secure. I can trust God even when I'm not sure about things.
Hmm.
That's the big idea in January. And so that's that whole thing. So the other ones, they don't even know what the picture is supposed to look like because they don't have the big picture. Does that sound like us? Uh, we don't have the big picture. God has the big picture. So we can be secure because we can trust God who has the big picture. So all of them are in there, and man, they have nailed it. Lifeway has with Hi-Fi, they've nailed it. The kids, the students, when we first previewed it before we decided to use Hi-Fi, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. So we tried one. Jim, you were there. We tried one for the kids and they loved it. And
Hmm.
all the videos just nail it, even though I think it's goofy and silly and but it's great that and you can get some really good discussions in there. It gets kind of deep with the students, and mom does Cynthia does the fourth and fifth. Cynthia and Hope does fourth and fifth grade, and they said their questions get kind of deep too in there. So
Yeah. And the main thing about Hi-Fi is it's a digital based curriculum. And so, like you said before, like they've done research, and with these younger generations, like they're leaning towards all digital,
mhm,
as we're used to like maybe a mix or maybe just, like paper but these younger generations are just used to videos. And
mhm,
so it's made a huge difference, even with the youth, like to have them watch a video of someone else
yeah.
teach them the lesson, and then
Mhm.
we come back and like we ask them questions and like we do like a deeper kind of connection.
And I was going to mention that it's not like we put on a video and let the video do everything. It's highly interactive. So they use video as tools. And
Yes.
so you do a video and then you interact with them, and then you do a video, then you interact with them. Whether it's they have a theme video every month. Um, uh, Hope and Hillary were disappointed that I didn't tell the two guys who are in charge of Hi-Fi make the theme video different every week for students.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
because
the
it's
same one.
it's really interesting doing Hi-Fi like nursery through like the students, because it is a little bit different. So nursery up to fourth and fifth, they each week we have a different like theme video.
Mhm.
And the preschool one is mainly based on like Blue's Clues, which is you think is funny, but they love it.
What's
They
the dog's
absolutely
what's
love
the
it.
dog's name for the preschool?
Bark,
Bark.
bark, bark.
Bark is kind of blue, isn't he though?
No, he's like a multicolored dog.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
But
that was
so like
funny.
but it's really cool how Lifeway, all the research that they did to make sure that each age group got something that they can connect with. And so pre-K kinder can connect with Blue's Clues, so they did Bark. They did a Bark theme,
It's
Blue's Clues theme.
it's a total
And
ripoff.
then
I don't know how they're getting away with it, but you know what? The kids are they have 100% of the kids' attention the whole time.
right. And the students, like sometimes the theme video or even sometimes the Bible study like video, we're kind of like, like I don't know. But then like when we talk about it with them, they're all like, I really connected with that,
Oh
like
yeah. Oh,
I really, like that they were on my level. Like I totally understand what they said. And it's like, oh, okay, it might be really kind of weird to us, but as long as you understand it or it connects with you.
I did talk with the two guys that are in charge about because there's no countdown video for the students, so we grabbed the ones from the kids, and I
Hmm.
mentioned that to one of the guys, Chuck, and he said, "Yeah, we've been kind of talking about that." I said, "Well, it'd be cool if you had it, but if you never did it, just so you know, we just use the one from the kids, and the students love it. They don't know that it was designed for kids because they jump
Yeah.
right in."
I think it would be really cool if Hi-Fi did activity sheets for the students.
Yeah, we could. I don't know because their stories are a little bit different than ours for the students, but we could probably still.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's our normal plan for students, and we plan to continue using Hi-Fi. That's our weekly deal. But
mhm.
here's what we're going to do something different, and it's in response to one of the parents who said, "Hey, I know my kid. is hearing all this stuff in school about science, and because of science that God can't be real, and I'm afraid they might be getting a little bit influenced by that. So Jim, you'll appreciate this. We're actually going to take a break from Hi-Fi for February and March, and even a couple of weeks, a few weeks maybe into April. And we're going to do this. And if you guys have never seen this series, it's you can get it on Amazon. You can actually get the videos on Amazon too. And it's called True U. So TRUE, and then U for True University. This first one, they have 3 different series, and each of them are 10 weeks long. The first one is taught by, actually the first 2 of them are taught by Stephen Myers, who's a well-respected scientist. And here's the title, Does God Exist? And he does a great job. We've done this long ago with the students. That's where Jim, we've seen it. We also have done it in the men's ministry just because it's so good. And so Stephen Myers is sitting in a classroom with college kids. And so he's going through all that. I actually saw there's one of the dudes that's in there as a college kid that isn't a college kid, which I thought was funny, that we saw in a later video. So that one's funny. I think it's Titus. I think it's an archaeologist. But anyway, so we're going to do that with him, and he goes through just very logically, very scientifically. In fact, Stephen Myers has written a book that I haven't read, but I want to. It's called The Return of the God Hypothesis. And I didn't realize this until we saw this video, because I, like most Christians, hear the word Big Bang, and we're like, just a lot of pushback with that, because when scientists are talking about the Big Bang, they're saying that that's the reason they give to prove there's no God. He actually uses, because the Big Bang, what you end up with is something from nothing, which is an impossibility. You can't get something from nothing. The law of the conservation of energy and matter says that matter is neither created or destroyed; it just changes form. And so he actually goes back to that. And with this idea of the Big Bang, that it had a beginning, he walks through scientifically and logically. He talks about you infer to the most logical conclusion based on the evidence that you have, and lays out this really, really good logical argument for God based on scientific evidence and logic. And so I'm excited, because I love it. I'm excited to do it again. It's going to be fun to take this group of students through, because it's been several years since we've done that before. And so that's what we're going to do for the next several. True U is the name of the series. There's 3 of them in there. Stephen Myers teaches the first one, Does God Exist? He teaches the second one, Is the Bible Reliable? Which we may try to sneak in the fall. And then Dale Tackett actually teaches the third series, which is called Who is Jesus? Or Is Jesus Real? I think maybe the topic. But so I'm excited about that. We're going to lead into that. We had to reschedule our student retreat because we had some conflict stuff come up with some of the students. So we're going to do that one. And with that one, there's a new series. Actually, it's a series of series, if you want to call it that, called Essentials of Faith. And so the first one, What is a Christian? And it's done by Francis Chan. So we're going to walk through that with them, although it may not be Hillary, because she's going to be doing the baby thing pretty soon. I don't know if you guys see, I keep trying to adjust here. The sun is keeps chasing me down. Can you see there?
Yeah, I can see it.
He keeps chasing me down. I opened the curtains to get a little bit of the deal, but so that's what our student ministry is. Usually we go to camp. This year we're going to shift and do a mission project. I just need to get the details of that worked out. to what I want to do is go help a church or a church plant with a mission project, and I've got a few kind of that I'm knocking around. Talked with one guy in Cuesta, but I don't know Cuesta, New Mexico. I don't know if our kids will be up to doing that. That one is kind of a tough area with people that they're going to have to really engage in good, solid apologetic arguments, and I don't know if they'll be ready for that, but we'll figure that out and let the kids know. But that's our student ministry. That's our Stu Men. We're kind of changing some of the names of stuff. And one of the things that I've noticed in our state convention, with our national convention, have been doing it for a while, the SBC, is putting student ministry, Stu Men, and kid men together. Man, things are happening so fast with our younger generations, and just calling them next gen ministries. So who knows with that? I'll get Cynthia on at some point and talk about things that are happening in our kids ministry, maybe in a few weeks. But that's our Stu Men weekly. Here's something I don't know if I've mentioned it to you yet, Hillary, that I'm looking at maybe for the fall, that I think would be awesome to do with our students, and we'd need more helpers, more leaders to help do this. But to start doing life groups, and with those to do some really more intense discipleship. There's a study called Rooted that I think would be great, and then that one that would have a whole different feel than Wednesday nights. Right now, our Wednesday nights are designed so that somebody can come for the first time. In fact, I don't know if I told you this, Hillary. We had some visitors yesterday, and the guy has a 12-year-old son that seemed really interested in coming to students. So Wednesday nights designed so that they can come with having no prior knowledge of anything, just show up and fit in. And it's designed that way. Hi-Fi designs it that way. The Sunday nights would be more of an intentional. They'd have to be committed to coming to the Sunday night life groups. Because if you weren't there last week, you're going to be a little bit lost, for the one coming. Is kind of the design of that. So anyhow, that's kind of where I'm looking for our student ministry, Stu Men, to raise up our student leaders and get going with that. So that's what I got, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to get pushed out. I know I've got the Shekinah glory glow of God going on here as the sun comes down. Hey, thank you guys for hopping in. Thanks for hanging on. Let me pray for you, send you out into the week, and then Jim and I will jump back in. Jim and I, that's funny, the twins, because we kind of look like twins. Jim and I will jump in Wednesday and start to unpack the sermon from yesterday, our introduction into Galatians. And the big idea was the slightest variation from the truth isn't the truth anymore. That if you vary from the truth even slightly, it's not the truth anymore. So we'll dig into that. Let me pray for you guys. Lord, thank you for your love. Thank you for the way that you work in our hearts. I pray that God, in the ministries of the church, particularly in student ministry, we just want to pray for those kids. God, thank you for the opportunity you give us to invest in them. And Lord, I pray that God, you would just work in their hearts. I know that really being a teenager, middle school, high school is tougher now probably than it's been in the history of our country, with all the craziness going on in the world and in all the stuff that kind of rose to the top during the pandemic. And God, would you just help us to impart your word faithfully to them, to give them the firm foundation of your word, so that they can stand, Lord, just against the winds of culture and the whispers of what the world says. God, work on their hearts, draw them to you. Lord, I pray that you would, for the ones that know you, strengthen them in you, and the ones that don't, that you'd bring them to faith in Christ. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for hopping in, guys. And let me click some buttons here. And we'll see you, Jim and I will see you on Wednesday.